We have prepared for you 100 vocabulary terms that will help you study and prepare for your insurance licensing exam. Let's get started.
Actual cash value, ACV. The value of an insured item considering depreciation and wear. Actual loss sustained. The actual amount of financial loss experienced by the insured. Additional insured. A person or entity added to a policy for protection against specific risks. Admitted carrier. An insurance company licensed and regulated by a state's insurance department. Agent. A professional who sells insurance policies on behalf of an insurer. Aggregate limit. The maximum amount an insurer will pay for all claims during a policy period. All risk policy. Insurance covering all perils except those specifically excluded. Appraisal. An evaluation to determine the value or condition of property. Arbitration. A method of resolving disputes outside of court, often used in insurance claims. Assumption of risk. Accepting the possibility of loss or injury and the responsibility that comes with it. Binder. A temporary insurance contract providing coverage until a formal policy is issued. Bodily injury liability. Insurance covering injuries to others caused by the policyholder. Broker. An independent professional who sells insurance policies from multiple insurers. Business interruption insurance. Coverage for lost income and expenses due to a covered event. Cancellation. Termination of an insurance policy before its expiration date. Catastrophe. A large-scale disaster causing significant damage and loss. Claim adjuster. A professional who investigates and settles insurance claims. Claim. A request for payment from an insurer for a covered loss. Coinsurance clause. A provision requiring the insured to carry a certain percentage of insurance relative to the value of the property. Coinsurance. A provision requiring the insured to share a percentage of the covered loss. Collision coverage. Insurance covering damage to a vehicle caused by collision with another object. Combined single limit, CSL. A single limit of liability coverage for both bodily injury and property damage. Commercial lines. Insurance products for businesses, such as liability and property insurance. Comparative negligence. A legal principle that reduces the claimant's compensation based on their degree of fault. Compensatory damages. Monetary compensation for actual losses or injuries. Comprehensive coverage. Insurance covering damage to a vehicle not caused by collision. Conditional contract. An insurance policy that requires certain conditions to be met for coverage. Contingent liability. A potential liability that may occur depending on the outcome of a future event. Declarations page. A summary of the coverage, limits, and policyholder information. Deductible reimbursement. A provision that reimburses the insured for the deductible paid in a covered claim. Deductible. The amount the insured must pay before the insurer pays for a covered loss. Depreciation. The decrease in value of an item over time due to wear and tear. Direct loss. Damage directly caused by a covered peril. Direct writer. An insurer that sells policies directly to the insured without using agents or brokers. Endorsement. An amendment to an insurance policy that changes its terms or coverage. Excess and surplus lines. Insurance for risks not covered by standard insurers, provided by non-admitted carriers. Excess liability policy. Additional coverage beyond the limits of an underlying policy. Exclusion. A provision in a policy that excludes certain risks or losses from coverage. Exclusive agent. An agent who sells insurance for only one company. Experience rating. A method of setting premiums based on the insured's past claims history. Exposure. The risk of potential loss faced by an insured or insurer. Fidelity Bond. Insurance protecting a business from losses due to employee dishonesty. First named insured. The primary policyholder listed on an insurance policy. Gap insurance. Coverage for the difference between a vehicle's actual cash value and the amount owed on a loan. General liability insurance. Coverage for legal liabilities arising from business operations. Grace period. A period after a premium due date during which coverage continues before the policy lapses. Indemnity. Compensation for loss or damage, making the insured whole again. Inland marine insurance. Coverage for property in transit or movable property. Insurable interest. A financial or legal interest in the insured item or person. Insurance policy. A contract between an insurer and policyholder outlining coverage terms. Insured. The person or entity covered by an insurance policy. Insurer. The company providing insurance coverage. Liability insurance. Coverage for legal liabilities resulting from injuries or damage to others. Liability limits. The maximum amount an insurer will pay for a covered liability claim. Loss of use. Coverage for additional living expenses or lost income when property is unusable due to a covered loss. Loss payable clause. A provision specifying to whom insurance proceeds will be paid. Loss ratio. The ratio of claims paid to premiums received by an insurer. Malpractice insurance. Coverage for professionals against claims of negligence or incompetence. Material misrepresentation. A false statement that affects the validity of an insurance policy. Named insured. The individual or entity specifically named as insured on a policy. Negligence. Failure to exercise reasonable care, resulting in harm to others. No-fault insurance. A type of auto insurance where each party's own insurance covers their losses, regardless of who caused the accident. Non-admitted carrier. An insurer not licensed in a particular state, but allowed to provide coverage. Non-renewal. A decision by an insurer not to renew a policy at the end of its term. Occurrence policy. Insurance covering claims arising from incidents during the policy period, regardless of when claims are made. Peril. A specific risk or cause of loss covered by an insurance policy. Perpetual insurance. A type of property insurance with no fixed term that continues indefinitely. Personal injury protection (PIP). Auto insurance coverage for medical expenses and lost wages, regardless of fault. Personal lines. Insurance products for individuals such as auto and homeowners insurance. Policy period. The duration for which an insurance policy provides coverage. Policyholder. The individual or entity owning an insurance policy. Premium. The amount paid for an insurance policy. Rata Cancellation. Terminating a policy with a refund of the unused premium based on the time the policy was in force. Professional liability insurance. Coverage for professionals against claims of errors or omissions in their services. Property damage liability. Insurance covering damage to others' property caused by the policyholder. Property insurance. Coverage for damage to or loss of property. Reinstatement. Restoring a lapsed or canceled insurance policy to active status. Replacement cost. The cost to replace damaged property with new property of similar quality. Rider. An addition to an insurance policy that modifies or adds coverage. Risk management. The process of identifying, assessing, and controlling risks. Risk pool. A group of individuals or entities sharing similar risks combined to spread the financial impact of potential losses. Risk. The chance of loss or the uncertainty of a financial outcome. Salvage. The value of damaged property that can be recovered or sold. Schedule. A list of individual items or coverages included in an insurance policy. Short rate cancellation. Terminating a policy before its expiration date with a penalty in the refund of the unused premium. Special damages. Specific quantifiable losses such as medical expenses or lost wages. Subrogation. The insurer's right to recover the amount paid on a claim from a third party responsible for the loss. Surety Bond. A contract guaranteeing the performance of a specific obligation. Surplus lines. Insurance provided by non-admitted carriers for risks not available in the standard market. Third-party administrator, TPA. An organization that administers insurance claims and benefits on behalf of an insurer. Tort. A civil wrong or injury, other than breach of contract, for which the law provides a remedy. Umbrella policy. Additional liability coverage beyond the limits of underlying policies. Underinsurance. Insufficient insurance coverage to fully cover a loss. Underwriter. A professional who evaluates and assesses risks for an insurance company. Underwriting profit. The profit an insurer makes after paying out claims and operating expenses. Unearned premium. The portion of a premium that has not yet been earned by the insurer for providing coverage. Uninsured motorist coverage. Insurance protecting against damages caused by a driver without insurance. Utmost good faith. The principle that both parties in an insurance contract must act honestly and disclose all relevant information. Valued policy. An insurance policy that pays a specified amount in the event of a total loss. Vicarious liability. Legal responsibility for the actions of another person, such as an employer for an employee. Waiver of subrogation. An agreement where the insured waives the insurer's right to seek recovery from a third party responsible for a loss. Waiver. The voluntary relinquishment of a known right or privilege. Warranty. A statement in an insurance policy that must be true for coverage to be valid. Workers' compensation. Insurance providing benefits to employees for work-related injuries or illnesses. Written premium. The total amount of premiums received by an insurer for policies issued.
That's a wrap. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up as it really helps the channel. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Good luck on your exam.